Heuwagen, back again with another video. How are you? It's a new week. It's freaking October. How did this happen? I mean, I know how it happens, but where did the time go? Like, seriously, one minute I'm like writing a book and like seeing clients and living my best life, and the next thing I know it's fall, which is the most wonderful time of the year. I know there's that song for like Christmas time or whatever, but I super get pumped for fall time because then it goes into cooler weather where I can wear my actual clothes instead of the clothes that I don't like because it's too freaking hot in Atlanta. Anyway, welcome back. Today's video is something that I've been thinking about commenting on for quite some time, especially since I had the strangest thing happen to me. So let's just dive in. And if you have something to drink, I hope you have a good cup of tea or a cup of coffee, because this might be a long one. So I wrote Down Among the Stars because it was just a story that was inside me that needed to be told, and as I grew, the story grew, and I've said this a million times all over the place. One of the things that I realized as I was writing it, especially when I was doing the revisions with my editor several months ago now, before the book even came out back in May, is that it is definitely a critique of our mental health, stereotypes in the United States. And I'm going to keep it in the United States because I don't want to talk about any other countries that I might not be privy to know what it looks like there. So I wrote a story that looks at anxiety, for example, trauma, PTSD, and sexual assault. Now, sexual assault has not made an appearance in Down Among the Stars, but it definitely is going to make an appearance in Fading Starlight, the follow-up to Down Among the Stars. And Fading Starlight will come out sometime next year. Stay tuned for that. Really, really excited to share that with the world because it's a new take on some very serious matters that has been plastered all over the news, and I'll make another video about that soon enough. But one of the things that I noticed when working with an editor, and I'm gonna out her, I'm sorry, but she was of a different generation than myself. She's much older, comes from a different place, which there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying older people cannot have compassion or empathy, but there are differences in how you're raised and where you're raised and how you see the world. That's all I'm saying with that. One of the things my editor said is that she wrote in one of her comments, she goes, "Samantha, why are your male client, I call them clients and their characters, oh god, such a therapist, sorry." But she said, one of the things that I've noticed is, why do all your male characters cry? And I had to think about that for a second, because I was like, well, why not? They're humans, they're people, they have emotion. Now, again, I know stereotypically men are socialized not to show emotion and not to cry, to show tears, to show anything that would make them vulnerable. Ooh, so scary. And so by writing Down Among the Stars and writing the male characters the way that I did, I wanted to break that stereotype. I wanted to show well-rounded individuals that could conquer worlds, that could take care of family, that could take care of themselves, that could be the flawed humans that I see every day in my life, whether it be in the therapy room or the people that I know and care about. So it really, really bothered me that she pointed that out. And I wrote back, I said, well, men cry. And of course her response was, no, they don't. And I thought, well, shit, what kind of world do you live in? Because that's not the world that I live in, and it is definitely not the world that I want to see as I contribute to change and what have you in my community. So I kept it in. I kind of gave them the middle finger, and I said, no. My characters will cry, my characters will get mad, my characters will be happy, my characters will be fully formed humans, aliens, what have you, that have emotional range. I do not think it is right to rob readers of that experience, because I look at reading as a gateway to learn about new people, new places, even if it's fiction. I learn so much by reading different things and kind of understand different circumstances that I might never experience in my life, because I'm a compassionate person and that makes me empathetic. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I'm very passionate about this. As for the stereotypes, we gotta break them somehow. We can't just keep on writing characters that only do one thing. Another feedback, little tidbit that I got from someone that will not be named was that there is no strength in tears. So they said there was no strength in tears. Well, I have to respectfully disagree. I think being vulnerable, now whatever that means to you, whatever that looks like to you in your world, being vulnerable is strength. Being able to, again, find that emotional range, and whatever that is. And some of us are better at it than others. There's total trauma history that we have to pay attention to, family of origin issues we have to pay attention to. But a well-rounded, healthy, I hate that word, I hate that word, person is going to cry. They're going to get mad. And they might cry when they're mad, they might cry when they're happy, they might cry just because they saw something or they've got something in their eye. Guess what? Tears do not ask permission. They never will and they never have. The biggest thing that we can do is allow for space to have tears come when they come and let them flow freely, no matter what. Regardless if you're a therapist or you love the person next to you that is crying, if you can just be there in that moment with that person, now that's strength. That's strength for the person doing the crying, and that's strength for you as an individual. Remember, empathy and compassion? They're the biggest tools that we can reach into and use when we care about somebody. It really, really upset me to hear that there is no strength in tears. Because what is that telling us? What is that telling the young people? What is that telling future generations? That your emotions, your feelings don't matter. And that's absolutely not true. So the point of this video is just to get that off my chest and to kind of start the discussion. What does it mean to cry? What does it mean to show vulnerability? Does it mean that you're weak? Absolutely not. I refuse to believe that. I think the strongest people we know in our lives are the people who have that emotional range. Think about it. How much more respect do you have for somebody who's feeling whatever they are feeling, being authentically them? There's a good chance that you respect them more than somebody who's cooped up and doesn't let anything out. And I think in writing especially, we owe it to our readers to be honest, to show people as they are, not how we think they are, not how they've always been written. That's boring. And it's 2018. We deserve better. So that's all I got for you today. Give it a like if you agree. If you don't, I'd love to know your opinions. Let me know in the comments below. You know the drill. Subscribe. I do videos, I hope, every week. I've been pretty good so far, but life happens, so give me some grace. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you right back here next week. And if you know somebody that needs to hear this message, feel free to share it. All right, you know where to find me if you need me. Take care of yourself and have a great one. Bye.